Alright, so I'm sitting in Hale, Michigan for their county fair. I got called up for this gig last Thursday. It was very, very last minute. Last Thursday, I was in New Mexico for a friend of mine from college's wedding. And then I got home Saturday morning, taught aerial class, and got flown to Michigan Sunday morning at 8:30. So yeah. But let me just tell you about some of the travel shit I've gone through in the past couple days. So, Saturday, trying to get a good flight time arranged because I'm getting booked through this company, and at first they were gonna fly me out at like 10 a.m., which was doable, but still kind of hard considering I was only home for less than 24 hours, and then that 10 o'clock flight disappeared, and so they had to book me an 8:30 a.m. flight, which is definitely not ideal, but I did it. So this was the first time I had flown Spirit Airlines, and I was instructed to bring as many ground circus props as I had, because they would have they had a silk and a lyra here, but I was instructed to bring all of my ground circus props, so I packed everything into a big bag. So everything fit in the bag, including another suitcase full of my regular day-to-day clothes, because Spirit Airlines apparently charges you for everything. Even on the flight, they charge you for pretzels and drinks, which is somebody who flies Southwest all the time. Just, it's unheard of that you pay for that. My initial flight was at 8:30 in the morning, and I landed in Atlanta at around 12:30, and I had a 2-hour layover in Atlanta. So my next flight from Atlanta was to Detroit. So that's pretty good layover, chilled out, finished up my first video, and then I get to Detroit. I have to wait in the airport a little bit to be picked up by this juggler named Rob, who's awesome. We've been doing the show since Sunday. Wonderful. It's a cute little 2-person show. Pretty easy stuff. I'm doing lyra. But Spirit Airlines lost my bag, and there was more than enough time in a 2-hour layover for them to, put my bag from one plane onto the other plane. But they didn't do that, so that sucks. So I sat at the airport waiting for my ride, and one of the gentlemen in the bag service offices let me know that it got put on the next flight and that it should be there by the time I got picked up. Well, sure enough, it didn't show up like an hour and a half later. So I've been sitting in the airport waiting on my bag for nothing. And at that point, we had to leave. We had to get driving from Detroit to where we were staying, which was a 2-hour drive. So I had been traveling from 8:30 a.m. until about 11:30 p.m., but we had to start the show Monday. So we had to go to Walmart to get me an extra outfit, which was my costume for yesterday. We come here Monday and set up the rig, set up our little backstage tent, which is where I'm at now. And then we do our first 3 shows, and they're really fun, but it was the most aerial heavy day I'd had in a while since competing at BHOF. I've definitely kind of taken a month off after BHOF. The people at Spirit told me that my bag would be shipped that night, and so I assumed, they would get it there at least during the day, Tuesday. And yeah, sure enough, they did. They received it. I got my bag, thank God, because there was no way I could do all week with just aerial stuff. My body would absolutely incredibly hate me.
grinning wide and he's falling over drunk. And everything I own I've packed into this trunk. The light that he shines will lead me on my way to some other town, baby, where no one knows your name. Eileen, 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 nice to lean on you. Then I went to San Francisco where I was sleeping in my shoes. But all night I'm dreaming of you. Oh, the way you used to smell and the things you used to say. Hoping I'd see you someday. Eileen, 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 nice to lean on you. Yes, I do, Eileen, 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 Eileen.
Monday night, I finally took a shower and realized that my last shower that I had taken was in New Mexico on Saturday morning at 4 a.m. before my flight back to Dallas. We've got a couple of other really cute shows next to us. There's a farmer who has this like decked out trailer called the Barnyard Express, and he does a really cute little farm animal show where he tells you, it's educational, so he tells you about what farmers do and how he cares for his animals. He's got a little petting zoo next to it too with the cutest pig. And then we have this other guy, Danny Connor, who apparently is from Texas, and he does this trailer called Reptile Adventures. And he's got so many big reptiles in there. Alligator snapping turtle, he's got a monitor lizard, he's got some big boa constrictors. Like, we're also next to the livestock kennels, and part of me worries that, you know, boa constrictor's gonna get out and like eat a whole pig.
On to the quarter, 250, down 35, and to the left 35, and 35, and 200, on to the 45, on 125,
This is probably not the best idea for aerial sex.
Bonsoir. Mesdames et messieurs.